the SM Media Podcast Network. Hi folks, and welcome to the latest episode of the SM Media East of Scotland Football Show. I'm Scott McPike. It is always a pleasure to be your host, and we've got an exciting episode this week. We've not got a lot of league action, obviously, with the Cups kind of taking full effect, but we do have some exciting games to talk about and some kind of leagues to discuss. To join me this week, it is an absolute pleasure to welcome on to the show the manager of Haddington Athletics, Scott Bonar.
Hi, how you doing?
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much for coming on.
It's good to be here, Scott.
You might have seen a wee podcast we did at the start of the season.
Uh-huh.
That
when it was time to get relegated.
Yes, and I'm quite happy. I think I'm quite vocal that I'm happy to admit when I'm wrong, and I'm happy to kind of look at things differently than when I do at the start of the season. The kind of chat I was hearing at the start of the season, and again, you take into trust a lot of what people said. The Haddington were losing a lot of players. There was a lot of good teams coming up. It might be difficult for them to keep their place. But you've proven that completely wrong. And I've just got to say once again, Scott, hats off and another very good season.
But it's understandable at the start of the season, even since we got promoted, Scott. Like 3 seasons ago, we've lost Alisson Jones at Broxburn, Sean Hull, Guy McGarry, just lost our captain, Nicky Trinent as well, Ethan Williams, Dale Cornett, the goalkeeper, and excellent players. So you could see people's thinking there, but that team served as well. But I felt like I've had to build a new team, even though it's Gabri and that as well. So I could see, like, a lot of them had been together for 4, 5, 6 years. And we needed, I just felt like we needed to rip things up a wee bit as well and start again and build a new team. And that's basically where we are at the moment. So it maybe took a wee bit of time at the start of the season. We started well, but we just went through a period where we lost 2 influential players to injury, like Seamus and Big Ali Simpson, they've got the physical side there for us, because we're quite a technical team. They're a lot younger and more slight players, smaller. So once we lost them, we went through a wee sticky patch, but getting players back, and then a few young players have stepped up for the 20s as well. So they're doing well. And I've never really been disappointed in any. Like, I know it's when you've lost games and things like that, like people maybe get immersed in what the result is, but there was things that we needed to work on, Scott, on the training pitch, and we've done a lot of hard work on the training pitch. So hopefully it's seeing that come to fruition now with some of the results recently.
And you mentioned like the kind of losing players as well. Like Gabri was somebody last year who I was really impressed with. Anytime I'd kind of seen him, and like one thing about yourself, Scott, was obviously looking at your background that you kind of specialise in kind of bringing youth players through, and that's something you notice. Like again, a lot of the kind of 20s players that have come through this season, they've all been very impressive. They're all getting regular game time. Is that something you kind of focus on as a manager? Like, when you're losing players like Guy, for example, like is it always like, let's look to the youth and see what's coming through, as opposed to maybe looking, as a lot of clubs maybe do, looking to see what's available elsewhere, and like seeing that there is a kind of pathway at your own kind of doorstep that you can kind of thrive with?
No, definitely. I've been I cut my teeth at youth level, so I still coach kids at 5, 6, 7-year-old and that as well, Scott. So I built the boys club Portobello, so I don't know if you've heard of it. So I'm still involved with that. So there's a conveyor belt of talent coming through. So it's not been an accident. It's been years of hard work. So before even getting involved in adults football, I wanted to have like a youth system behind me, because I've always been ambitious. So it's been a longer path and a longer project, but hopefully you can see, like, well, even Guy, they were all for the same,
Yeah,
like Nicky, like Seamus and that, they've all came through as well. Even the other ones that were talking about, Alisson and Ethan Mullins, they all played for me when they were younger as well. So um, there's a conveyor belt of talent coming through, Scott. But it's no easy, especially in the Premier League. It's difficult. It's a hard league, eh? So um, I'm fortunate that I've coached a lot of the kids. So when they're coming up, like they're already mentally ready, and because I think a lot of them have got the ability. It's the mental side there, and
yeah,
keep them on the straight and narrow for 16 to 18, so 16 to 19, because that can be the years when they start coming into the first team, and then maybe night suit and things like that. And so it's like, so Aaron Ewens, he's came through, doesn't drink, anything like that. Great player, great attitude. And I've had him since he was a young kid as well. So I know them inside out, so I trust them. And I think there was 8 in the squad on Saturday against Socky, 8 under 20s in the squad, and we finished with 4 of them on the park. And up the left hand side, it was just under 20s. But Wilson, Robbie, Peffers, Aaron, they're all good players. And we've maybe not got a budget like your muscle bros and things like that. And so I can't go and like buy my way out of trouble. I've got to produce our own and like coach our way out of it. So the youth's a massive thing. Like, so even though I've got the first team, the 20s training me, so I've been building another team underneath.
yeah,
So and then it's hard because there was like there's more of them coming through, but I can't play them all at the same time. So it's how I get to that stage as well, because there's Alex McNaughton, Kelvin Woodcock, he's coming through. Logan Thomas, he's exceptional as well. So there's more of them on the way through than the ones that I've already played. Because I had a team at Portobello, there was the 06 age group, and they done really well. I didn't think they lost the game for 3 years or something. So they're now at that age that they're knocking on the door to come into the first team. So couple that with the experience, but the ones that have been there for a few years, like Seamus and Wee Ross King and things like that, they're experienced in playing how I want to play because they've just been there for years or played for me when they were younger as well. So I know some people maybe think, but if they've got the experience, and I'm not saying how I want to play is the right way or the wrong way, but these players have bought into it. So um, it's good to create an environment where they're all so the first team players accept them because they've all came through it themselves as well. So it's not like some of them. You could get like senior players saying like there's too many training wheels and the standard of training's going down and everything. So and I've got to accept that sometimes results will be inconsistent because they are young, and I've got to take that on the chin and obviously maybe get criticism for it because you're not winning games, but the only way you can bleed these players, because we wouldn't be able to afford them, is giving them games. So I've got to give them 20, 30, 40 games and then judge them for there. Because it's hard to, I think, the young players, if you give them a couple of games and they make mistakes and things like that, then it's easy to say, oh, they're inexperienced in it. But you just got to stick with them and develop them. And I think it served us well.
yeah. And like obviously when you got promotion, the first year of the kind of when the pyramid took the way it did with the conferences and things like that, you went up as champions in the 2022 season, and then it's been just consistency for the past kind of 3 seasons. Like, have you felt progress like within the club in that period? Like, obviously on the park, it's been kind of similar kind of league positions, but have you felt a progress yourself just in terms of the way the kind of clubs move forward for them?
Massively, like off the park and on the park. I think at the moment, even Saturday, there were stages on Saturday that we played some brilliant football, and
Mm-hmm.
I think we're the strongest that we've ever been. Although, and that's for losing the players that I just
Yeah,
mentioned earlier. So it's been a steady progression, and now it's just getting that consistency and maybe adding 3 or 4 to help the squad like for next season. I brought in Jamie Smith as well, goalkeeper. He's done really well, so he's been a good signing. But he's young as well; he's only 21 as well. But like there's been a massive, even for myself learning as well. Like even when we went through a sticky patch and just before Christmas and that, I was like, I had the notepad out and my house was like good ball hunting with bits of paper and formulas all over my wall and everything, and try gears are like design a new identity for us because maybe we're becoming a bit predictable to play against as well. So I've put another couple of shapes into formations into the team so we're more adaptable in games, and the players have bought into that as well. So, but to take a step back to go forward, but again, you can see it like coming to fruition through results. Although I didn't feel like the performances have been that bad. Like we got beat off of Janefield, but there was circumstances, Socky at home, Hullabeath. Like it wasn't like games that like we got beat off of Janefield the first season we were up and we couldn't even get near them. They were just like just miles and miles and miles ahead. I mean, you're standing there, you've got to accept that as a coach, manager, whatever you want to call us. So, but these games this season we were in the game and it was just individual errors or a lack of concentration, and but they're things that you can still develop the players with. So we just went back and worked hard, and we just continually want to keep improving, Scotty. And as I said before, like we can't go and buy our way out of it. So it's just sheer hard work for everybody involved to get us to where we are just now.
And
But we're still higher.
do you think the league's as kind of competitive as it's ever been? Like just with the teams that are coming up, and it'll be the same next season as well. You might also have kind of another team coming down. Like, do you think the league is beginning to become like as competitive as you've seen it?
Right, the standard's really good. Like if you like, it doesn't matter who you're playing. Like middle of the table, top of the table, bottom of the table. If you get a point or 3 points, it's well earned and well deserved. Because if your mentality is no there, or you're turning up and a bit complacency or even disrespect to teams below you, like you'll get punished 100%. So it's having to be at every moment of the game because it's a good league, it's a hard league. A lot of good players, a lot of good teams, a lot of good managers and coaches as well. So you're constantly having to look inward and improve as well as a person, as a player, as a manager. So and as a club, and if you stagnate, then you'll get caught up
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
quickly as well.
Yeah. And like we have spoke about it quite a bit in the show recently, but like obviously like next season potentially, like I know nothing's set in stone, but there's obviously been speculation about the proposed kind of reconstruction. Haddington obviously with their SFA, if this was to come to fruition next season, Haddington would likely get a promotion. Like I know like you don't want to get too much into like what it means for the club, except but like, how big would that be for yourselves? Like going up to that next level, do you think it's a good thing, and can you see it being something that you can really benefit from in the years to come if it does end up happening?
I think it's been hard with the speculation. So we've had to, well, myself, we've got to prepare as if it's going to happen then,
Right.
Scott. I think rather than being caught short. So if I don't, the situation's no ideal, let's be honest. But if that's what's happening, then you've just got to like embrace it and then try and take it like and go forward with it. But if you know, like, I think you've got to know at the start of the season what's happening. I mean, I've made decisions like um, I wouldn't have made if I thought we were going for fourth position.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of players or like other things, whatever it is, I just wouldn't have made the decision. So it's hard. But if we went up, it'd be massive for the club.
Yeah.
But then again, it's another. You're building again because we're building a squad just now that we hope can go and challenge or compete in the Premier League. And then you're like, if you're thrust up another one, then it's another massive learning curve as well, playing at that higher standard as well. So would it be exciting? Of course it would be. But is it going to happen? We've just got to prepare as if it is going to happen, and then if it's no, then we've just got to try and aim to be as high up the league as we can, Scotland.
Yeah, absolutely. And like
I think
yourself,
it's good in terms of if it's going to happen even the season after, like more. It's hard to just like one gone up. When we
yeah,
won the league to get into the Premier League, like it was right up until the last couple of weeks of the season, and it's like a real pressure on you. It's not even like you're maybe two go up and you're 14 points ahead or something with so many games to go, and then you can take your foot off the gas. It's like it's a right intense environment when only one goes up. So it might help like level the leagues out quickly as well. Just like teams coming up to Premier like Camelin and Nitton and Bonar as well. So they'll be good additions to the Premier League. So it'll be even harder next year as well. So it's like there's a lot of good clubs coming through.
mm-hmm.
And if they open it up, like, they might be surprised with some of them. Like Linlithgow Rose, a brilliant club, good fan base, probably more bigger and better run, more professional than teams in League Two. So if they open up a wee bit more, like they could see some good progressive clubs coming through.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing as well. Look, it can open it up, but it's the thing. It's the big thing. Is it just going to be rushed, and is it going to
Aye.
have an impact? I think that's the thing for me. But again, like you're hearing different things coming out. We'll see what happens with it, but
Mm.
we just need, as you say, I think that's kind of one thing I'm quite pleased to hear you saying. Like you're preparing for it as if it's going to happen, but like that's a good thing. I know, like with the speculation and things like that, it's very difficult to keep focused on it. So to hear that, I think it's quite reassuring that clubs are looking at that. But in terms of your own kind of future at the club, you've been at Haddington, what kind of nailed it, kind of coming up just about 4 years, just
No, I've been there for 7, 8 years, 8 years.
8 years,
So I started as a
four,
coach,
4 years as manager.
4 years as a manager. Aye, so and then I started as a coach, assistant manager, and then 4 years as manager. So I think that continuity as well has
Hmm.
helped build the foundations, eh? Because a pyramid system, I'm used to build something, eh?
Yeah,
That's like, um, and this isn't a criticism of people and that, but you see some folk maybe go from club to club quite rapidly and sort of maybe burn themselves out, and they're no, once they run out of a certain group of players, they've maybe not got more players underneath them. If that makes sense. So I think it's building something. If you can build it together, it maybe means more. So when I first went to Haddington, the first training session. I think there was 8 at training, 8 players, all got different stuff on. Um, so training there between 20s and the first team, you're talking like 30 odd players at training now, and so more professional and everything. So we've came a long way, but there's been a lot of hard decisions as well, and sometimes you've got to say to yourself, you've got to make decisions, but is it the right thing for the club? I would never ever make an emotional decision, so I've had to make hard decisions, and again, you've got to take the flack and the criticism and like and just roll with it, and like hopefully what you've decided has been the right thing for the club. So luckily, a lot of the decisions I've made have been proven to be correct. So long may that continue as well. So
yep, absolutely. Well, looking at the kind of season, just in terms of where you are at, like, is there a particular kind of games you mentioned a very interesting kind of start to the season where I thought you were like very impressive for the world. I remember coming on at the start of the season and saying like it might be a struggle for Haddington, and then within
mm,
like I think you won 4 of your first five, and I was like, well, they've kind of taken that to and proving it. But again, like, is there a particular kind of run of games you look back and think like we were really good at that point? Because like I look at the kind of period you didn't play the whole of January, and then there was like a difficult spell after that where you just went on a kind of bad run, and then you obviously go to Genefield and win, and probably kind of put them at the title picture probably. Like, but
mm.
did that feel like a massive boost after a kind of bad run like that? Do you feel that was a kind of
uh,
big result for
but
you?
it was a bad run results wise, Scott. But I didn't think we were playing
Hmm.
too badly. Although did it like that can sap the energy of the players and that.
Yeah.
But again, it's if you look at it, it's maybe happened to us a couple of seasons. But if you look at the age of the players, then it's inevitable. So if you've got a lot of young, even in the squad in general, so you're asking someone like Robbie Peppers now, who's been in the team since he's 16, and they're mentally tired. Like he's having to concentrate, and Aaron's coming in. So you've got all these young players coming in. You're going to like have peaks and troughs, but I've just got to accept it, and then hopefully we can get through it. Like what's happening. Like well, the Genefield game kicked us on again,
Hmm.
but we hadn't been far away in the game. So although it was a bad run of results, I wouldn't say like I was really disappointed. Like with some of the games at the end of the game, I says to the players, we just need to keep looking at it. What was disappointing, I felt, was we lost 3 big home games against Genefield, Hullabeef and Auchinleck in the Scottish Cup.
Yeah.
And they 3 games, because as you say, we started the season really well, and it was like, can you get over the line in a big game? And it was like individual errors or a lack of, like I said earlier, a lack of concentration. But we've grew through that, so it's now building for next season, and we'll be in a better place. But the last couple of seasons we've had that we've went up and down, but it's because I keep introducing young players, and that's the nature of the beast. They're just like they're inconsistent in their nature. They'll go and be, and I say to them as well, the first season's the easy season because nobody knows, like you're unpredictable. It's the
Hmm.
second season. Second season's a hard one because players will play against you, they know your style, maybe know where you're going to move and things like that. So the second season's always the hardest one. So I've just got to accept the but you're in this league though, Scott. You're always like that runs no far away. where the results maybe go against you, just the nature of the league, because it's that competitive. And as you say, we had a long layoff in January. Like, we had a few weeks before, like, we had a right few weeks before we had a game, so that maybe, like, resulted in some of the results as well. Just like, and they've played, like, we got to the League Cup final, so we've only had 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
In nearly 2 years. And that can play sort of like a factor as well. Some injuries, like muscle injuries, and then when you think of the COVID years, like, you were in, you were back to a pre-season, you were out, you were back. So it's been like, because we got to the League Cup final, got to the semi-final the year before as well. So they've not really had a break. Although, when saying that, I wouldn't say they're looking tired or anything like that. They're not allowed to be tired anyway.
And like as well, obviously, a big result at the weekend, beating Socky at home to reach the fourth round of the cup, and you'll play either Greenfield or Whitburn. Like, that's another kind of big occasion as well. Like, how important is that? Like, at this stage of the season as well, where like there's cup games kind of basically from now until the end of the season. Like, how important is that to kind of keep is that kind of priority at this point? Like, do you have to balance the two at this stage of the season, or is there a primary focus of we want to win this cup, we want to do well in this cup now?
Well, for me, I'd like, if I'm in a cup, I want to win it. So if you're in the quarter final, like, no doubt Greenfield and Whitburn will be on it, or everybody else who's still in the cup, they'll all be thinking the same. So quarter final, like, and I say to the players on Saturday, when we're at youth football, you can win, like, I don't know how many cups I've won at youth football, but when you get into adults football, it's harder to get to cup finals, let alone win things. So I wouldn't turn their nose up at any cup or anything like that. But like, my philosophy is just whatever the game is on the Saturday, Scott, just deal with that.
Aye.
We win, we go back on Tuesday, Thursday. If we lose, we've got to accept what the defeat is, accept the players, and then we've just got to go and work again on the Tuesday, Thursday, and work hard and try and learn for the previous, like, Saturday, and just continue to treat everybody with the same respect as well. Like, that's another thing when I came in. It was, if you're playing, at the time, if you played Bonar, then sorry to get beat off with Bonar because they're a big club. If, like, other clubs that they maybe perceived that were bigger, or teams in the middle, you should win, but it doesn't really matter if you get a draw, and then teams at the bottom should be beating them 4-5-0. That mentality has got to stop. You've got to treat everybody as if, like, at that time, I'll use it now, everybody as if they're Musselburgh or Greenfield. Otherwise, that's when it comes back to the complacency and bites you on the backside, if you like, and that's when you lose points. So it's having the right mentality for every game, and it, like the League Cup, the League, any cup, any game. And if you treat everybody the same and have the same standards, I think standards are, like, massive as well, then it doesn't matter the competition. It's just the 90 minutes that are in front of you, and you want to win it. I want to win it. Anything that I do, it's just inherent in me, like most people.
And just on the kind of cups of the weekend as well, that we saw, like, you obviously won 2-0 against Socky, Dunbar beating Bonar 2-0, Hillabees beat Dunipace 4-2, Thornton Hibs and Kirkcaldy and Dysart and Edinburgh College are all through to the fourth round as well. Whitburn beat Crossgates, they'll play Greenfield on Wednesday to decide who plays Haddington. And in the King Cup, Armadale beat Canoe 2-1, Leith Athletic beat Lockwood 5-2, so the semi-finals there are Armadale versus Bonar and Leith versus Bathgate. Like, again, like cups, it's a kind of good thing. Do you think it is a good thing having the cups kind of at this kind of stage of the season instead of, like, spread out over the year?
Well, if you take Leith will be like, that'll give them a right, like, adrenaline hit, like getting to a semi-final, and it can hopefully galvanise them and motivate them, and, like, for there, because like that bottom of that league's really tight, So the cup games, like, it's a wee relief, and for the league, like, if they're feeling like a bit claustrophobic, well, the team's on top of them, so like that could maybe kick them on and finish their season strongly, because it's a great result as well, 5-2. So because we've got Mark McGovern that's on loan there as well, so it's good that they're doing well. So the cup games are, like, it's good that, like, the only negative I would say is that it can prolong your season, Scott. When we've not had a break, that's the only thing. And gone are the days when I played in the other 6 to 7 weeks. And
I think the final's early June, isn't it? I heard. Is that right?
Well, last year, like, it was the 6th of June, I think, and then we had to get them back in on the 21st of June, so you had 2 weeks off, which is really hard. So they never really had a break, especially when you've got a lot of young players. I feel like they're going to need a break, just for the mental side of the game, because I'm demanding a lot of them. So that's the only negative I'd say. But in terms of the relief it gives you for the league. But as I say, like for myself, I'm motivated through every game anyway, so it doesn't. I don't think it makes any difference to how we prepare it. It's just game for game, and then I prefer to play against the bigger clubs as well because I feel like you learn more. So that's what's been good the last few weeks, like playing Socky, Jeanfield, Socky twice actually. Away to Hallabeef as well. We've got a good result there, so they're definitely growing up and standing up to these teams now. Whereas at the start of the season, I'm like maybe didn't have that belief because we lost a couple of games, kind of bigger games at the start.
Just before we talk about the kind of league games over the weekend, let's get a wee word with our sponsors at Appin Sports. SM Media's East of Scotland Football League coverage is proudly sponsored by Appin Sports. Want your team to stand out next season? Then Appin Sports are here to help. Their online kit designer lets you create your dream custom teamwear in your club's colours and with your club crest, sponsor logos, player names and numbers. Design yourself or work with their expert design team to bring your vision to life. Every order of custom teamwear also secures your place in their online club shop, making reordering effortless and giving supporters a place to get your amazing gear too. Get started on giving your team a stunning new look and head to appinsports.com to make your team's 2025-26 kits unforgettable. Let's go into the Premier Division, Scott, and I'm interested to get your thoughts here because we had only 2 games at the weekend, but quite a pivotal game at Jeanfield. Jeanfield 5, Musselburgh 1. Musselburgh looked out of sight for a while, and now you're looking at it. There's Hallaby with 2 games in hand over Musselburgh. Musselburgh with a 7-point lead. It's becoming fairly interesting now at the top of the table where it looked like it was a one-horse race for a while.
Anybody that's played under me, I always say you never win anything in December, January, February, or March. It's a season for a reason. It starts in July and it finishes in June. So the bad run can come at any time. It could be at the end of the season, it could be the middle of the season, and it'll happen in this league. I mean, that's a like I'm not saying it's a shock result. Jeanfield beating Musselburgh, but 5-1s are like, especially the way the season's been going. So, like, it can start playing on your nerves. Everybody starts getting anxious and frustrated, and it's trying to get over the line. So like that bad run can come anywhere. Like they go beat off Dunbar as well, so it'll be playing on their mind if they lose another game, and then you start snatching at chances. And even as a manager, you can start like getting frustrated with the players and things like that. So it's all right, and they've got a hard run, and I believe they've got Jeanfield against Socky and maybe Hallabeef. So
Musselburgh play Hallabeef on Saturday. Hallabeef they've got a game in hand tomorrow, so like
that's a big game.
Massive week for the league title.
Anything can happen, and it's not done until you've got that trophy in your hands, and you've just got to I feel you just got to go every Tuesday, Thursday again. So, I mean. I know, but Jeanfield still got a chance. The way it goes, kind of like the other teams could like. So it's some running as well, which is exciting. And Hallabeef's not an easy place to go to. Is it at Musselburgh or at?
It's at Musselburgh.
Back.
It's at Musselburgh. Hallabeef's 2 games in hand are away to Glenrothes, and then they play Luncarty away. Luncarty obviously will be eager to win that as well, obviously, in their kind of battle to stay up. So it makes it fairly interesting. Like, again, it's hard to call, but you'd imagine if Musselburgh be getting into that game on Saturday, even if Hallabeef win going, if we don't lose it, we're probably okay.
Aye.
I think that will be the kind of one as long as...
Even then, it's a hard man. That's a hard... That, like, you're in that... You just have to, for me, you just have to go for it and then just put it to bed. So, it's exciting. And they've been done well, Musselburgh. Like, we played them just after the turn of the year and we were doing really well. It was 1-0 and felt we were really in the game. And that's how I could see like a wee turning point. But again, a lack of concentration. We gave a goal away, but they've been deservedly up there at the top. Some really good players. Jordan Smith, wee Owen Anderson, strong at the back, big physical, experienced. Goalkeepers are good as well. So if they win the league, we'll be well worth the winners. And Liam's done a good job there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Robbie's done a great job at Hallabeef as well. Dundonald are a side that are kind of consistent as well. They obviously beat Pennycook 2-0 at the weekend, a double from Lewis McKenzie. Dundonald and Pennycook have obviously been quite consistent, like obviously like sitting near using the league as well. Like they've just went about their business well. Pennycook have had a lot of transition. Dundonald have been consistent. They've had two reasonably good seasons, I would say.
Dundonald's a hard side. Like when you go over there as well, we've got a lot of good players as well. They're an experienced Premier League team, Scott. So they're always going to be difficult. They can attract players. So is Pennycook maybe could they maybe have aspirations of being higher up the league? Because they're a big club as well. Probably Dundonald as well, but they're a lot of good. No, Gavin's been in there and he's done well. He's continued the good work for Lewis and Dundonald as well. So they're two good. They're really hard teams. We've got Dundonald in the last game of the season. We've always found it hard games against Dundonald, especially in Pennycook.
Yeah, no, and that kind of first division as well. Like you've got Musselburgh, Halibees and Genefield in top three, and then you've got like between Dunbar and Dundonald, like obviously Haddington in there as well. There's only 5 points between the fourth and ninth. So it shows just how tight the league is, especially in that kind of middle stage. And you've like as well promoted sides have come up and done well. Like Dunbar have done really well. Whitburn, St Andrews have kind of solidified themselves, and then like Socky, I think, are a side who are probably going to be like improve next season. They've obviously been a bit unlucky this season. Like I think there's so many good sides in there.
And that's what I'm saying. It's hard. You get like you can't like you obviously like on social media now and you like comments like you talk about comments and things like that. Like then if you win 1-0 against a team near the bottom of the league, then like there's Pitburn drew with Luncarty. Luncarty are a good side. There were some good players and they're fighting for their life. So if you go against Luncarty with any type of an ounce of complacency, you'll come unstuck. So it's every single team. Glenrothes as well, another hard place to go. Another good side, good players. It's a right hard league. It's mentally tough as well. Every week means something. Like you can't switch off. And that's the one thing about the young players. Like I'm a great believer. Football's all about decisions. So if they give the ball away like cheaply, and I say to them, before you know it, 3 passes, it's either a shot at goal or you've lost a corner or it's a free kick and then you're under pressure. So, and that's just the nature of the league. It's just a good standard for the big clubs.
Yep, absolutely. We'll get into the first division as well. Newton Grange won 3-0 at home to Inverkeithing. Jones reading an own goal puts them in kind of I would say kind of pole position to go up in third. Like I really like the job Paul's done there. I think they are a side that should be going into the Premier Division. I think they were unlucky not to last season, and I think this is a big weekend, especially with no other games. Like they had to put a kind of statement victory out on Saturday. I thought, and they've done so.
No, definitely, because Heriot Watt had got a few results and they were up there with them, but they've maybe fought the last couple of games as well, and that's put Newton Grange into the driver's seat. But Newton Grange are similar to ourselves. They've given a lot of young laddies an opportunity as well. Like the laddie Barrowman, Sutherland, Max Dillon, he's a good player as well. I think he's on loan to Bonar. So they've got a few young players coming through as well, and they're getting the results for that as well. So again, if they 3 came up, it makes for another interest. It makes for an even harder league, if you like, next season, which is exciting. So it's 3 like good places to go as well for away games, like good parks, good facilities. So it just enhances the league again, and I think that's what's good when you've got like the 3 up and 3 down that can really get the progressive clubs coming back up.
Yeah, absolutely. Big result in the second division. Bathgate would have probably been looking at this weekend thinking we can really kind of make a case for promotion if we win at home. But they ended up being roundly beaten 3-0 by Vale Leiden, who at the other end of the table puts them 6 points clear of relegation. So like shows you how big one result can be. And Vale Leiden, if they were to stay up, I think it's a massive season for them.
No, definitely. I'm delighted for them. There's a couple of players that used to play for me down there, the goalkeeper Thomas McLean and Dean Burgess and things like that. So glad that Flinny's got a good result there, and hopefully they can get one more to keep themselves safe, because it's been a hard time for them, just coming down the leagues. So it's a hard. So he's done a good job there to try and like stem the flow and maybe just get a bit of confidence and start winning a few games of football. So they've done well, and hopefully they can stay up and just steady the ship a bit and then look to put a wee challenge on or solidify in that league and just keep progressing.
Yep, absolutely. Just the other result, Coldstream beat Oakley 1-0. So again, like two away results, Oakley would have been looking at that thinking, if we win, we're back in the promotion fight as well. So in Coldstream again, like they've just went about their business quietly. You don't hear a lot about them, but they've been very, very solid this season.
They've got a few good players down there as well. Thomas Gray up front. They've got some young players as well. My assistant manager, Kieran Ainsley, he was a manager at Coldstream and done a good job there and left a right good foundation for them. So they're a good wee club, a good setup in that as well, Scott. So it's good to see them. Like you're saying with Oakley, it's the same mentality. It's just that end of the season when you're maybe going for things and everything, and it's just it can become anxious and frustrating. And I can remember when we won the league in a couple of games, and it's maybe not the free flowing football that you were playing at the start of the season. It just becomes about winning, and it doesn't matter how you do it. It's just 3 points is everything because even sitting now, nobody will remember some of the games that we played when we won 1-0 or 2-1. They just remember the 3 points that we got. So sometimes I think that's like got to come into it as well. It's just about winning. And some of the teams maybe are feeling that at the moment, just with everything that's up for grabs.
Yep, absolutely. In the third division, we did have a full card here. It was probably Hawk who won the weekend. They won 2-0 away at Edinburgh Community, goals from Fowler and Uwandu. They're into the promotion places with Livingston United suffering a 4-0 defeat at home to Newborough. League winners Lochgelly, they came from a goal down and a man down to win 3-1 away at Edinburgh United. And then there was draws for Fauldhouse and Stonyburn. They drew 2-2 and Linton were held against Ormiston 2-2. That league's quite interesting. Like Lochgelly are up,
6 teams, eh?
Linton are obviously they've got the games in hand. I would fancy Linton to get the job done, and I think you've got what maybe kind of 5 teams going for one place.
So it's quite exciting, eh? And there's no
Aye.
many games left, and there's, as you say, there's games in hand there. So there's a lot of big games in the third division to come in the next couple of weeks. That's for sure.
Yep,
It's
absolutely.
good to see Harry Fowler as well. Had him at Portobello, striker, good player. Eh? So it's good to see him in amongst the goals down at Hoyk as well.
Yep, absolutely. We'll just get into the kind of interesting games in midweek. We mentioned Hillabee's game in hand against Glenrothes. That'll be very, very interesting. I'd imagine you'll have an eye on the game at Jeanfield on Wednesday, Jeanfield against Whitburn.
Big game, eh? Like either whoever wins it's going to be a hard game, Scott. Like Whitburn's a right hard place to go. It always has been. Darren's done a brilliant job at Whitburn as well. They've had some great success over the last few seasons, promotions and cup wins, and good players there as well. And Jeanfield's a big club as well. So, irrespective of who, we know that we're going to have a really hard tie and a hard away game to try and get to the semi-finals. So, but we'll be looking at it. Like we see what the outcome is.
Yep, absolutely. And you could obviously be playing, you play Whitburn on Saturday as well. And in terms of kind of the league, I think 3 games left. How important is it just to kind of finish the league strongly and kind of look towards the summer? And you've got cups as well. How important is it just to finish the season strongly and kind of be a very good season regardless what happens? But like, how important is it?
Definitely, especially like even losing the captain and things like that. So we've had to build a new back four. So it's getting the mentality right and keeping the standards, and so that when we come back at we keep demanding like the utmost like effort for each other just up until the last game of the season, the last whistle, and then we just go and have a break and then go again for the start of the season. But that's a massive thing. You can't let our standards drop. We can't think, oh, there's nothing to play for. There's always something to play for. You've got people that are paying to come and watch you. You've got a committee there that are brilliant, putting in some amount of effort to, like the club at Haddington with the stand and like all the work that they put in round about the ground, and like so we're due them something. So it doesn't matter when the season is. We've got to work hard and hopefully give them like 3 points and make their Saturday nights as well. So there's always something to play for. And at Haddington, I've tried to recreate the environment. I don't know if you've been to Haddington, Scott. When you walk in, it's got like a right family feeling about it. So I've tried to make the squad like that. So we work really hard to give the committee like on Saturday, and you see their faces at the end because there's some of them have got 50-year service and things like that. So it's good to give back because they give a lot to the players.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we can only wish you the best for the rest of the season, Scott, and congratulations on a good season so far. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
No, I appreciate that. Thanks, Scott. Thanks for
Right.
having me.
Thank you very
Excellent.
much. We will
Cheers.
see you all soon. Thank you very much to everyone that's tuned in. Follow us on social media. Thank you very much to our sponsors, App and Sports, and we'll see you all next week. Thank you.